Chapter 2. The Correction of Evil Attachments. The translator notes that in this chapter an attempt is made to refute false doctrines so that the assertion made in the preceding chapter may prove to be correct. The content of this chapter is not suggested in the outline, but to refute irrelevant views is an indispensable step. All evil attachments originate from biased views. If a person is free from bias, he will be free from evil attachments. There are two kinds of biased view. One is the biased view held by those who are not free from the belief in Atman, that is, ordinary people. The other is the biased view held by those who believe that the components of the world are real, that is, the Hinayanists. 1. The biased view held by ordinary people. There are 5 kinds of biased views held by ordinary people which may be discussed. Hearing that it is explained in the sutra that the Dharmakaya of the Tathagata is, in the final analysis, quiescent, like empty space, ordinary people think that the nature of the Tathagata is, indeed, the same as empty space, for they do not know that the purpose of the sutra is to uproot their adherents. Question: how is this to be corrected? Answer: the way to correct this error is to understand clearly that empty space is a delusive concept, the substance of which is non-existent and unreal. It is merely predicated in relation to its correlative corporeal objects. If it is taken as a being termed non-being, a negative being, then it should be discarded because it causes the mind to remain in samsara. In fact, there are no external corporeal objects because all objects are originally of the mind. And as long as there are no corporeal objects at all, empty space cannot be maintained. All objects are of the mind alone. But when illusions arise, objects that are regarded as real appear. When the mind is free from its deluded activities, then all objects imagined as real vanish of themselves. What is real, the one and true mind, pervades everywhere. This is the final meaning of the Tathagata's great and comprehensive wisdom. The Dharmakaya is, indeed, unlike empty space. The translator notes that quiescent is literally tranquil and desolate, which suggests a state of complete absence of being. The purpose of stating that the Dharmakaya is quiescent like empty space is to negate the adherence to the notion that the Dharmakaya is a being, a kind of anthropomorphic being among beings in the universe. On the other hand, to believe that the Dharmakaya is literally non-being is a wrong view. This error leads to an adherence to the notion of non-being as a form of being. Non-being is inconceivable when there is no being. In other words, non-A cannot be talked about when there is no A. Death is meaningless in the absence of life, or vice versa. Seen from the point of view of the absolute order, though this view is in practice possible only for the enlightened ones, the phenomenal order simply does not exist. The absolute order is unlike empty space, which needs a correlative for its existence. Because of its transcendental nature, and, at the same time, because of its immanent nature of suchness, it is symbolically said that the one true mind pervades everywhere.